I'd like to call the meeting of the City of LaPorte Sustainability Commission to order. Like that. And would you like Councilwoman Huffman could lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And thank you for being here, everybody. We have kind of a short agenda today. Thanks for coming back from your summer break. Everybody, I assume, had a good summer break, except for it's been hot. But lake guys like that. So the first thing I wanted to mention is our big talk about is just share with you and discussion on what we're doing with the Rotary project. Fonda, I had some conversations with Tucker and what he recommended, because we need to, we've talked about obviously acknowledgement of Rotary and the tree planting and everything, and Tucker's kind of recommendation, and I don't know how you feel with it, that he thinks that the main event should be in conjunction with Arbor Day in the spring when we've got these flowering trees. And so I said, but I think we need to recognize Rotary now and then. And so whether you, I don't know whether we've ever, have we had a real recognition at the council meeting or anything?
Yeah, so Zach and I were discussing this before the meeting. If I remember correctly, like I said, I'm 98% sure we did, because we did like the check presenting and such. It was a while ago. I'm
Yes.
happy to look back through the minutes after the meeting and confirm for our next meeting, but I'm pretty sure we did.
I think so. I think the president of Rotary came to a council meeting and talked about the donation and everything. That happened.
Because I think the commission was donated one amount, and then I feel like in that acknowledgement of it in council, there was another donation, if I remember correctly. But I would have to go back through. But I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Can I put that action item on you?
Yeah.
To make sure?
Yeah.
Thank you.
and I'm thinking of the mind that at least when we do the planting, maybe something, just, maybe go to the council, one of us or myself, or of course the councilwoman, and just announce it, say that we're doing the planting and that we want to celebrate somehow when we see flowers on them in the spring, and quite possibly, Tucker said that that's really, really pretty close to the time they'll flower. So I'm assuming with the size or whatever we're getting, that he's feels comfortable that they will, if they go in this fall, they'll flower in the spring, so,
Yeah, that was for Arbor Day.
yes.
Yes.
So, do you, and of course then have the signage or whatever acknowledge, put in the ground too. I don't know whether that should go in when they're planted, or maybe that's in the spring.
Is this on the Chessie Trail?
Yes.
Okay.
So, do you have any thoughts, Fonda, as a Rotarian and a sustainability?
I think they're pretty open to whatever
Okay.
you want to do. I mean, they don't have any plans. We just need to make sure, like any sort of designation, plant, signage, or whatever, has the official Rotary
Absolutely.
logos. So somebody can get you those. If you want to do something in spring, then that gives them time to plan for something.
Right, and they kind of make it, our event to revolve around the flowering or whatever in
Yeah.
the spring, and,
I will say, if you want the Interact kids involved, that's not where they want to be.
right.
They want like a work,
They want something to
they
do.
want an activity, like they wanted to really be engaged in planting or somehow helping out with
Yeah.
the trees. So if you wanted to, if there's an opportunity for some sort of volunteer activity for the Interact Club, which is like generally juniors and seniors at the high school, that would be something that would be done probably separately at this point,
Okay.
instead of trying to combine everything. But I don't know what the schedule is for planting or who's gonna do the
Right.
planting. I haven't heard anything about that. So I'm just assuming that
If
it's
he gets a
contracted.
If he gets a planting date or something, then we'll see if there's
Right.
something that can, you
Right.
know.
Right.
But with Interact, is that the name of the organization or the?
It's the high school chapter of Rotary,
Oh, okay,
Right.
didn't know that.
yes.
So generally that we're on the right scheme then to try to get the planting and then maybe make a little celebration around the flowering of the trees and what they're gonna bring to the trail.
Yeah.
I was thinking of, if we could get some kind of a name, but I can't think of anything, but it's Chessie Trail already, so they don't want me renaming it Rotary Lane or anything, so,
I think they were gonna go with Blossom Trail,
okay.
like the little section there, because that was the whole idea from the beginning, is that it was some sort of flowering
Yes.
tree, and it would create, you know, kinda like the cherry blossoms.
what, DC or
in
something,
DC. Yeah, that was part of the concept of the group from Rotary that put it together, so. yeah.
Well, good that-
Todd, were you the one in the past that was talking with Covens for signage or memorial or something?
Right, we talked to them about that, and then, of course, we went and looked at the signage that the park department uses and thought that was a good option also, so it may be that that's better, you know, just it fits in with all their signage.
Yeah.
So after we did talked to Covens about some kind of a stone thing in the ground, but then we looked at the park signage, and that's pretty good too, so it might be,
Do we need to make a decision on what we want and then have someone chase that down?
I think once we get some scheduling on the trees, then, yeah, I think we should, you know, figure out finally how we're gonna do that, because you know, you probably want something to kind of at each end of where the planting are to highlight it. So I think we can chase that down at this point. I think we can start doing that. Yeah, we have to, we'll get some, I don't want it to take away from trees, so we'll find a little bit of funding to do the signage. I think we could probably get a donation or two to do the signage, so,
Or we
Most
could
definitely,
ask
you know,
for
and then
yeah.
get it put into the city water, or into the flyer maybe also, and you know, it's coming up. and it's an
Sure, I'm
event.
sure if we give them the time, then we can get that into
Once
the
Tucker or
water.
whomever, when they come down with the schedule, or how
Yes.
many trees we have, or how many trees we're getting planted and where.
Yeah, I'm kind of not remembering if he's here. He said to text him if we wanted to, but I don't want to bother him in the other meeting, but I forgot how many trees it was. Fonda, do you have any, remember what he said it was gonna
I
be?
don't know why the number 18.
Seemed like
is in
eight,
my
that's what
head.
hit my head too, was
I don't know
18.
if it's the same notebook, but.
I'm not sure of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so our
was-
last meetings, spring planting was modified, will still happen, we'll plant 18 trees with the funds available. I think that's all I have, so.
Okay, so it's in that range. So, yes, I would say that we can wish to get a prototype or something, maybe to bring back to the group here, or what kind of sign recognition we can come up with. So,
Great.
Okay,
Something maybe the street department can do, I don't know if they make their own signs or if they order signs.
Yeah.
But to save money and
I think, I mean, our thought was to get, you know, after we saw the park department signage that's up around there, it's pretty nice, it's pretty good signage, and that it would be nice to be consistent with that. And so I kind of evolved in my thoughts a little away from the monument in the ground, because that signage looks pretty good and is kind of, I guess, is used throughout the parks, so.
Yeah.
But we can bring it back a couple ideas.
Yeah, I've got it in the notes, so
Okay.
we'll follow up.
Yeah, and we'll,
I would not be surprised if there's not an official park signage plan. with
Right.
Criteria.
yeah, so that's what,
'Cause otherwise you end up with a mishmash.
right, that's what I guess once we saw that, we looked at it a little closer, that their signage looks pretty nice, and it would probably
yeah.
be most pleasing to them to have it be consistent, so,
We just need to get the official Rotary logo stuff.
yep. And I found that online, obviously,
Yeah.
but obviously you've got lots of it, so we can get this stuff.
I'm
for
sure the
whoever.
city could put it on their signs, or have a local Hawkins, whomever, they do metal signs too, but the city prints their own signs anyways.
So, anybody have any other thoughts on that, on the project? And Zach, the next item I had was the sustainability, the plan to meet with department heads or whatever,
Yes.
to bring them in or whatever, and I know you developed the questionnaire for them.
Yeah, we have the questionnaire. I'm sorry, I've lost track of where we are in the feedback. I know that Fonda gave some as well as others.
Did that get sent
So we
back?
have, we had
It got
8
sent.
questions, yeah, that I think we need to pare down.
Yeah.
But I can follow up on that and send
Yeah.
out a draft.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the real, and the simplest of concepts to me is kind of, not putting them on the spot, but what does sustainability mean to them and their department? And, you know, there's a lot of things. It's about fuel sources and, you know, for the, you know, just the whole gamut of things, and I think it would be good now if, it'll be a long project if we have to bring it, if we bring them to the meetings. It's gonna take some time, but then again, it's one thing we don't have budget, but we have time. So, I think our budget got shrunk probably, but. So Zach, you wanna, maybe between now and the next meeting, you wanna
Yeah, I'll dig
see
up,
where we're at? and
I'll
then
dig those
we'll-
emails up and
we can
send
bring
that out
back
as
to the
follow-up as
meeting
well.
and-
Yep.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah, why don't we invite somebody to the next meeting,
Okay,
a department
all
head?
right. Let me see if I can put, maybe I'll put, see if we can get Jerry or Tim, and Jerry'd be a good one because he's been a party, you know, I've done some significant things, and he might be a good first. He's gonna make a high standard for people to have to keep up with, but if you like, I'll check with him and see if he could be available.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Tim too, we're actually looking at some solar at the 2 water plants now, so he might have some thoughts on that
Rumor
as well.
about that, so.
Yeah,
Have you talked to him yet about it? Have they-
I'm not directly, but I think
Okay.
Nick
Yeah.
or Tucker has.
Okay. So I think if we get, I'll make that a note, and then I'll get a hold of Jerry.
Yeah, sounds great.
And see if maybe he might want to come in and tell us what he's doing, what he's done, and what he, you know, envisions.
Yeah, give me a week to get those questions
Yeah.
and get exactly what we want before you talk to him, so we can send him the questions before he agrees.
Yeah.
He knows what he's walking into.
I think one of the other things we've talked about is, you know, sustainability in operations. One of the things that Tucker came across was that article about, like, just for the ideas for different departments, the crack sealing is a really big sustainable function to seal the roads with the cracks when they're just cracks versus all the energy and petroleum and everything that goes into repaving a road. And so the mayor, I've met with the mayor a couple times on that, and we're working on a list. So with your blessing, I'll keep working on that and see if we can get that to be an SOP for every year. So it'll make a big difference. Anybody have anything they want to bring to the commission today? Thoughts on other topics?
And I think once we get some department heads in here, it'll get things moving a little bit quicker and a little better, and we can work with them.
Yeah, should we just try one at a meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will see if Jerry can be present at the next one. If he's going to be gone or not available, then I'll just kind of go down the list. And of course, with him, Zach going over the, you know, the stuff he's already sent out, we should be able to get something good out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Zach, if you get something out this week, I'll give it one last look over and feedback, and hopefully we can get it to people within the next, 2 weeks, so that they have a couple weeks before the meeting.
Sounds great. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to call you.
Okay.
And I think generally, you know, when talk about sustainability, one of the things you see, like this project we did, Ty, the solar, the meters, that's been a great process. NIPSCO's finally going to catch up to us and start getting the data on a daily basis, doing their new, and they're using census, actually. Yeah. But I think that's been a good project. It's, you know, for them, it'll be huge demand. You'll know who's out of power and where and everything almost instantly. So, pardon? Yes, that would be good. So, does anybody else have anything to add? You wish we had a budget? Oh, That's not likely soon, is it? We're gonna have to do a lot of shaking down entities for money if this keeps going the way it's going. Well, I don't have anything else for the commission myself.
We didn't ask about anything from our audience?
Yeah. Any,
Space Invaders? Fruit Ninja?
Citizen participation.
no, I'm,
Motion to adjourn then.
Real quick,
Okay.
I don't think, maybe I didn't bring it up, just getting a little bit, still with the lakes and stuff, but
yeah,
the,
so let's give us an update.
we did, so we didn't talk about it in July, I wasn't here.
We
We
were,
didn't have a meeting either, so
we had vacation.
in June, we treated the lakes and it cost us $51,000 to treat 74 acres of water on Pine Lake for the milfoil. And we'll continue to have to keep treating that forever to keep our lakes usable and clean, and which helps everything out and helps the area out, the businesses out and everything throughout the whole area. Yeah, we put in for a LEAR grant, which goes through the state, so we got $26,000 from them, but $6,000 goes into the process of us and the biologists and them figuring out a plan of what we have to treat. And then, so we were able to take 20,000 of that, so 31,000 came out of the LaPorte Lake Association funds, so. But yeah, we don't have to treat again this year. The milfoil's doing really well, so
So the
see what
treatment
happens
worked,
next spring.
treatment worked well?
Yes.
When is the worst time for that? I mean, does it just when the water heats up and everything, or what does the?
And the fertilizers from the lawns and everything, and cable and drain comes in, it comes from off the farm fields, and it comes on the north side of Pine over there, and that feeds to the lake. But the lake is so clear and so warm, and the DNR calls our lake a super lake because it has so many native, natural vegetations. There's over 30 native weeds on there. Some they won't even let you touch.
Yeah.
There's one that's over on Stone that they know that's there, that it's the only one in the whole state of Indiana that's not in that lake.
So it's a good thing. that-
It's good, and
Yeah,
it's good and bad at the same time, you know, because the weeds are there, but that's all we can treat for is the milfoil, just to
Okay.
let you guys know.
but that's the one that causes
That's
the
where we're
biggest
at with it.
problem for
Mhm.
everybody's. Okay. Thank you for the update, because it's important, living the lake life.
Yep.
As a related topic, does anybody else have an interest in hearing what the biologist says about our lake and what the effects of milfoil would be?
If you guys, we do, and we have our regular meetings, and our next meeting is gonna be on the 22nd at the LaPorte Yacht Club, and it's always open to the public. And Dave from Aquatic Weed Control, whom that we hired to treat our lakes, he is gonna be there, and he'll have they do the oxygen studies and everything, and levels, and they check everything, and those guys do a GPS, when they check for the weeds, they scan the whole lake and they do a raking of the whole lakes to see where they're growing at, so they'll have all the information, and I have it on our website too.
Maybe a reminder before that meeting in case somebody wants to go, to that one.
Yeah.
That's 22nd of September.
Yeah, I'll have it in the notes.
Okay. Good,
Confirming that date right now, make sure. It is the 22nd,
okay.
at 6 o'clock.
If it wasn't, we could just get dinner.
It's not open to the public in it, or not open, no kitchen, so
Beverage?
possibly, I gotta talk to them.
Okay.
Your upcoming fundraiser, because you're doing another one, right?
Yes, we're doing, the Lake Association, I've been trying to do membership funds, we're trying to raise memberships. Donations are great, but memberships give us a constant coming in to the lake to help us pay for things. Out of the 600 and some people that live on the lake and 12,000, 14,000 residents we have, we only have 80 members. So, I mean, we always say, anybody you put your foot in the water might not be part of the solution, to help us keep the lakes treated and clean, then not. Because, I mean, it does help.
Membership fee, it's like
It's $50 per household and $150 per business. So we're doing we did it a couple weeks ago, and we're doing another hot dog fundraiser over by Teledyne Park this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's $5 for a hot dog, a water, and a chip, and that money goes to the Lake Association, so.
Which you've used for your programming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know we have two members of this commission that have lake residents, right? Yeah, and you're a member of the yacht club, so. Yeah, that's hard to believe.
It just,
Not that
yeah,
many
you know, and
members.
it just, the memberships are what helps so much, because then, like I said, we have the constant of that money coming in every year, and the membership goes from March to March, and $50 per household, and a lot of people's kids work at these stores up and down Pine Lake Avenue, and, you know, and these businesses wouldn't be here, and property values wouldn't be so good if you couldn't use the lake. And if we didn't treat the lake within a few years, it would take probably 3 years, 4 years, but you wouldn't be able to put a boat on this lake. So if we stop treating, so we have to continue to treat for the milfoil.
That would severely impact the economy.
Sure would.
I think so. Anything else? We've stimulated some good stuff here at the, putting the hammer down almost.
Anything the commission can do to help the Lake Association get word out or get more members? I'm asking the question, I don't know if there's,
I don't think so. I mean, we'd like to work together like a lake cleanup, you know, maybe in the spring. We were talking about doing that this year. However, this, not the Rotary Club, but the schools got together and they went out and they did a cleanup, so that kind of took care of that.
Is that around the
But-
lake shore?
Yeah, we around the lake shore, do clean up the stuff on the shore, and then we usually sometimes we'll get a pontoon or barge, and we'll go looking around the shorelines, and they see any junk in there, and grab it and take it out, and so we've done that for years, but this year we didn't have to because they beat us to it.
Yeah, when we were looking, obviously, we were looking at our cleanup concept, and we went to the parks, and they were clean, so kudos to the parks and all the volunteers that had cleaned it up, because everything looked really nice.
And the city takes care of the shorelines. I mean, for the most part, they own all the shoreline stuff, except for the islands county, but the water is mainly owned by county. So there's a little catch-22 right there, but we do what we can do. I mean, work hard trying to keep it usable, so.
Well, I think the lakes have always been, we're kind of an untapped resource, and I'm glad that I think we've made the right moves to highlight it. So, anything else, folks?
Actually, yeah. So if,
We're here for,
if the weed growth that we need to control is mostly from
Milfoil.
fertilizers, right?
Oh, it helps it grow, that helps it grow faster.
Correct.
And our lake being clean, being so clear, and the water so warm so quickly, that the weeds start, the growth in the base of the lake starts to grow a little quicker, or a little earlier and quicker, especially if we don't have an ice covering for the wintertime,
Yeah.
which we really haven't had in a long time.
Do we need to look into ordinances or anything around the lake that prevent people from putting fertilizers on their lawns?
It doesn't hurt anything, and the chemicals that we use to treat does not hurt the fish, does not hurt the animals, doesn't hurt the wildlife or people swimming in it. Just some of the runoff of some of the fertilizers that some people use, you know, it's probably not a high concentrate, and when they do test, it isn't a problem in the water. So it just helps things grow a little bit quicker.
Got it. So it wouldn't really prevent people, or it wouldn't prevent the need for treating the milfoil. It would just
No, we'll have to treat it.
It would just be a pain for the residents.
And it helps everything else grow too, all the lily pads and everything else that we cannot treat for.
Okay.
I mean, you can always encourage people to use follow the product instructions and to use their pesticides and fertilizers right, but it's pretty hard to do much more than that.
I had to look it up, I've never heard of it.
Yes.
I've just
The
remember being in
milfoil,
boats.
the raising milfoil, yep.
Weeds and algae and lily pads, that's about
It's very aggressive.
Yeah.
All the lakes
For
have
anybody
it,
who doesn't know,
and we treat once or twice a year. We do it every year. And over the last 7 years, we've put over $380,000 into treating the lakes.
yeah, it says the dense growth and rapid spread of milfoil along lake shores dramatically impedes swimming and fishing.
Yes, it would overtake the lake pretty quickly if we stopped treating it.
That's the primary one, when you're in the boat and you can feel something's dragging and everything, and it's when you back up and try to throw it off, right?
There is another very aggressive weed we don't have in our lake yet, which the DNRs, the biologists are very surprised. It's called the stony wort. It's on some other lakes, and if we get that, we're probably gonna have to treat 3 times a year. So then we'll be looking at cost of anywhere $80,000 a year. But
Definitely need to get all the lake-loving residents to join in the cost.
I mean, you don't even have to live in town to be a member. You can go on our website and join up that way. It's super easy, you know, but it's helpful, and it helps us do what we need to do to pay for taking care of the weeds, so.
I do wonder if there there's a way to notify lake residents that they don't have to use fertilizer, like encouraging them not to fertilize their lawns. I mean, I know we can't make them through ordinance, but I don't know if there's a way for us to communicate that. I mean, maybe people don't realize the damage it does, right?
And we put it out there pretty, I mean, everybody knows that fertilizers help the growth grow a little quicker, and, but they know that, so I think they back off of it. But it's just educating everybody about the Lake Association and the importance of what we do, and trying to get the name out there and trying to get people to realize that I'm very proactive about it. I don't want to be reactive. We don't want to go back to what we had to go back to like 8 years ago when we had to do a whole lake treatment. So we treat what we can treat every year, and that's what we have to continue to do.
Food for thought on some kind of educational thing, maybe just to let people know how it impacts the lakes. So
Yeah.
it might be a thing that you could, I don't know whether it'd do any good. It could be one of those things that could be an item and they'll, on the newsletter that goes out in water bills or something, that in the spring maybe.
Yeah, if there was an easy way to filter by residents, or, I think it's primarily probably people that live on the lake, right? But
Yep.
half the people that live in the lake are in the county, not the city, so,
And people that come from out of town, and I put an article in Porte Living magazine. That came out in July. So that was in there about the importance of us and everything we do also. And it had our QR on it and our website and stuff, and everybody can go on to laportelakeassociation.com, and it has information about us and everything, and all that we treat and things that we've done and how we help. So all we can do is hope for memberships and
Well, the lakes are important and it definitely fits in our
donations. So,
sustainability role.
thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Anything else?
I second
Second?
the earlier motion to adjourn.
It's moved and seconded. We